5:15 a.m., March 4th, 2025, Paul's cell phone alarm woke us up. I got about 2.5 hours of sleep, I think, another moving day. We packed up the rest. I already took some GABA before my usual moving nausea kicked in. And then we said bye to Randy and Rhea. And then Randy's driver drove us to Clark International Airport. We checked in our luggage, and yes, this time it will go directly to Chiang Mai, Thailand, and we wouldn't have to check it back in Singapore. Oh, for the luggage control, there were female and male lanes. I've never seen that before anywhere else. I had to open my food bag, and the woman kept saying, easy open, easy open. I don't fucking know what easy open means. So I realized easy open. This is easy open can, and apparently that's not allowed. So I had this can, the little one, the beef from Turkey, the expensive one. I had this one in my food bag. Last time, I think in Thailand, but actually no, I'm more sure it was in Hong Kong. I wasn't allowed to take this. I had this one in my food bag, and this one is 150 grams. Well, actually 195 grams. And only 100 grams is allowed. So she threw one of these away last time in, I think, Hong Kong. But tuna, cheap, I didn't mind, that was okay. So this time when I packed that one in my lunch bag and not food bag, and not the big one. That one I put in the check-in bag. So that one is only 80 grams, so less than 100 grams. So I was like, okay, that one will be allowed. But in the Philippines, at the luggage control, she said this is not allowed because I think it's dangerous, the easy open. So I'm curious if a not easy open, just a regular can that you can't open without with a can, without the can opener, if those are allowed. I'm really curious. But so anyways, that one wasn't allowed, but she said, oh, you will eat it soon anyways. And she left it, so I'm glad, because that one was expensive, and it's the only clean beef I found in a can. And that one is still from Turkey, where we started our nomad life. Here is a video about Turkey. I don't know which one I'm gonna put there yet. So I'm super glad she didn't throw it away for me, because in all the other countries, honestly, I've seen beef meat in a can, but not clean ones. Clean meaning only beef. Well, this one is like beef and salt maybe, or beef, water and salt, or just beef, like that. Then passport control, filling up the water bottles, sitting at the gate, and doing Duolingo while waiting. Then suddenly through the speaker they said the plane is so full, there's not enough overhead space, so please check in more luggage for free. We only checked in our check-in bag, the fat boy, and Paul's carry-on, because that's what we paid for. But so, okay, let's also check in my carry-on for free, sure. And I put this dangerous thing in it, so it was checked in. It wasn't even in the plane. I couldn't harm anyone with this, so it was all legal. Yeah, so I usually carry one in my food bag with me when we travel, or two, but those are emergency foods, and I rather don't eat them. I rather eat my freshly cooked food, well, from the previous day, and just hold on to them, especially that one, because as mentioned, it's my only beef left. I am curious, in your country, or do you know other countries where they have canned beef that is just beef? Beef, salt, water, or just beef, salt, beef, water, whatever. In the United States, I also could find it, but I had to order it, and they were really expensive. So yeah, I'm curious, put it down in the comments, which countries also have just beef cans, if it's easy available, in what store, or if you have to order it, if it's cheap. I'm curious. We got into the plane, and oh no, the plane wasn't totally full at all. There were multiple people. They had a 3-seat row all to themselves. So I guess they were just people with a lot of luggage, so there wasn't enough room on the overhead compartment space, or they just played it safe and weren't sure and just wanted more luggage to be checked in. I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, already 4 days before our moving day, it started with me not feeling well anymore, getting nauseous, having diarrhea, and all that. And unfortunately, also on the plane, I didn't feel good. And I felt so bad for the person that went into the bathroom after me. Yes, I had a shit ton of diarrhea in there. Yeah, and unfortunately, I get so fucking crazy pains before pooping. And I have that for years now, and I still do have it. And it doesn't matter what I eat. It's so weird. I don't know. I think it's because of my hormones. Sometimes during my hormone cycle, this just happens. I don't know. It's not every time before I poop that I have pain, but a lot of times. Yeah, my last days in the Philippines, I had a headache, nausea, sinus problems, feeling like I would get a head cold, but I didn't. Yeah, I think it's because from my fucked up hormones. I had 2 pituitary gland tumors. I'm tumor free now, but I don't have my whole pituitary gland anymore. So my hormones are totally fucked up. And before we came to Thailand, we said I definitely need to go see a doctor again in Thailand to make this better. We arrived in Singapore as scheduled at 12:10 p.m. even though we departed with a 34-minute delay. Yay, Singapore airport, let's go look at that super cool garden thing that's at the airport. But oh no, it's not where the gates are. You have to go out of security, and then we would have to check in again, so go through security and luggage check and everything again. And there wasn't that much time anyways until our second flight was leaving. So no, we didn't do that. But on the way to our gate, there was a beautiful butterfly garden. So quickly I stepped inside and looked around. It was so pretty. Oh, like in Hong Kong, right before boarding, we had to go through passport control and luggage control again. So we had to dump out all our water again and fill it back up afterwards. We sat in our seats, and yes, the whole row to ourselves. Oh yes, so many rows completely empty. Paul moved to the front row while I shared my row with Mr. Top Sirloin and Tavuk. Finally, they got their own seats. Departure time on the ticket, 2:50 p.m. We left the ground with the airplane at 3:03 p.m. So basically on time. So I don't know the departure time on the ticket. What does that mean? Does that mean when the plane starts taxiing? Taxiing means when it's just driving around on the floor. Or does that mean when it's lifting off from the ground? I don't know. I'm actually curious. What exactly is meant with departure time? If you know, put it in the comments. I could probably also just look it up. I probably will later. As soon as the fasten seatbelt sign went off, Paul moved from his row one to the left, and I moved to the front to where Paul was in that row. Why did we do that? Because our row where we reserved our seats, where I was, that was the emergency row. So that means you can't recline the seats. So I wasn't planning on reclining my seat anyways. I was just planning on laying down the entire flight. But in case I wanted to recline, I could in the row in front of me. So that's why we did all that changing. If I wouldn't have been so cold during that flight would have been awesome. But during the takeoff, they were misting the airplane like crazy, the entire cabin, like really fucking crazy. And I was so cold. And also later on, when they didn't mist it anymore, I was just still so fucking cold. So Paul and I switched rows. Remember, he moved to the left side while I stayed on the right side and just moved one forward. So we switched rows. Why? Because on the left side there was sun, and really it was so much warmer there. Fuck, but I couldn't believe it. Snoring. The guy in front of me was snoring faintly, but loud enough so I could hear it through all that airplane noise. I can't fucking believe it. I'm super sensitive to all kinds of sounds, some more, some less, and snoring is one of the worst. So even just the faintest snoring sound is driving me fucking crazy. I can't handle that sound. It's one of the worst sounds for me. Basically, constantly, I keep telling Paul to stop making snoring sounds when he's laying down without his CPAP machine on. Most times, he's not even sleeping, and he's not like fully snoring. He's just making like faintly little, well, not this is a cat. Rowdy! Oh, again, it's the second time. You interrupt me with filming. I'm talking about snoring, not meowing. Are you gonna keep quiet? Okay. So anyways, back to Paul. So he doesn't even fully snore, but just even little tiny snoring sounds. I go crazy. I can't handle it. So I keep telling him, I don't tell him stop snoring. I say stop making snoring sounds, because he's always, I don't snore. I was like, but you make the sound, like just a little bit. I'm super sensitive to those. Well, so far everything went super smoothly during our move, and even much better than expected. Well, not like the move from Thailand to the Philippines. Here's that video. That was something. The plane touched ground at 4:38 p.m. Arrival time on ticket 4:50 p.m. We arrived and we won 1 hour. So Singapore and the Philippines, they are in the same time zone, but not Thailand. 1 hour difference. Unfortunately, during landing, I got problems again. At least this time no pain, but anxiety for some reason. But we made it out of the plane through passport control, got our luggage, and went to the bathroom. Oh yeah, and there was a post office right there. So we mailed 15 cards from the Philippines. We paid 750 Thai baht for 15 cards. That's about $1.48 per card. Finally, I could send them. Here is the video about the Philippines where I explained why I couldn't send them from the Philippines. Paul got some Thai baht and he ordered a Grab van to take us to Mae Rim. I felt great. I didn't feel nauseous at all anymore, but so super tired. The van was great. It was so cool. I had to lay down. I was so fucking tired. So I just did that while we were driving. Well, not we were driving, the driver was driving. So we were driven to Mae Rim, where I still am right now. Around 6:30 p.m. we arrived at Monoceros Resort in Mae Rim, Thailand. Holy fucking shit. It looks like paradise. That's exactly how I imagined Thailand. So fucking beautiful. And the following day, our trusted house sitter's job, taking care of 3 cats for 3 months here in Mae Rim, would start. Stay happy, stay healthy.